Now with the latest on the pandemic, there are growing concerns that the coronavirus could...
Thousands of protesters all over the city. Tonight, a curfew now here in New York at 8 p.m.
Dates to that show of force against peaceful protesters yesterday in Lafayette Park across from the White House. Today, the U.S. Park Police denied...
Pandemic, killer hornets, riots. We're barely halfway through this year, and we're dead. We're dying. It's over. But in the meantime, why not read a book? Not sponsored by Audible. I'm reading a lot of audiobooks, mainly audiobooks based off of movies. I started with the classics, like The Giver, Animal Farm, Fahrenheit 451, and then quickly moved to better books. Mainly books based off of movies, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which not only was my favorite movie of all time, but has now quickly become one of my favorite books of all time, as well as such as things like Through the Looking Glass or Who Goes There. The first book that I want to talk about is, what are you? What are you? This book is bad. This book is really, really bad. Forrest Gump the movie is a beloved classic. Everyone has seen it. And if you haven't, die? But everybody has seen it. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the story. Everybody knows Forrest Gump. Everybody knows Jenny. Everybody knows... But not too many people know the book. And yes, I know everyone knows it's based off of a book. I mean, knows the book. I read this monstrosity, and it is, well, sort of like the movie, sort of not. So the book is about Forrest Gump, obviously, who is a little slower than everybody else. He's stupid, or as he continuously says throughout this whole book, he's an idiot. And his luck starts off with him being in school, where he quickly becomes good at playing football. Or rather, not good at playing football, he's just smart enough, but also just dumb enough to be really good at going really long distances with the football. And this jumpstarts Forrest Gump's life. He quickly gets a scholarship for a college that he wants to go to, and while he's at college, he gets really, really good at math. Or really, he doesn't get good at math, he just knows math. He knows quantum theory. He knows Einstein's theory of relativity, or however it is. He just understands a lot of things. And the coach loves him, the teachers love him, but eventually he just flunks out of school because he's still an idiot, and everybody is sad about this. He's also apparently really good at harmonica. That's something. Jenny is in this book. She is she's an amazing character. Jenny, I'm just gonna say it. Hot take, Jenny's an amazing character. She starts off just like she was in the movie. She's partying, she's going out to bands, she goes here, she goes there, she's doing drugs, she's living life, as it were. While Forrest is just kind of going with the flow. He goes to college, he was supposed to go to the military, but he was too stupid, so they put him on absent leave. Then once he flunks out of the military, the Vietnam War happens, and then he's immediately drafted into the military pronto. It's from there that a whole bunch of stuff just starts to happen. He becomes the cook at the military base and blows up the base because he cooked in like a boiler pot. He gets shipped off to Vietnam, where basically what happens is exactly what happens in the movie. A whole bunch of stuff happens. The rain part happens. He becomes like a Valorant, where he's bringing people from one place to another. Bubba does eventually die, and he does want to make the Bubblegum Shrimp Company. Hold on. But this is where it really starts to do that part of the movie where it's just the military is basically where it ends. The book and the movie go off in two separate different directions. He does do the ping pong thing, but it's not as cool. Instead of just constantly coming up with like companies and being rich and like doing things, he just kind of does stuff. After ping pong, he goes into space, but because he got in trouble with the law. He got in trouble with the law because Ginny was joining like the Black Panthers or like some rebel group because they didn't like Vietnam at the time. He goes to join Ginny. Ginny says, you have to throw your war medals over your bridge to devote your life to our cause. So he does. He hits like the superintendent senate or something like that and gets in deep trouble. And so they say, well, Forrest, you can either go to jail or because you're really good at math for some reason, you can be a lab guinea pig for NASA. He goes with NASA. He gets equipped with like a lady, a chimpanzee, and himself, and they're gonna launch him into space, like for one of the very first like probes into space or something like that. So this is where the book just kind of goes off by itself. They go up into space, but trouble arises when the female chimpanzee that was supposed to go into space with them gets switched out for a male chimpanzee. This causes a lot of trouble because male chimpanzees are apparently more aggressive than the female chimpanzees. So Susan, the male chimpanzee, goes up into space where he's not supposed to go, causes a whole bunch of trouble, presses some wrong buttons, bada bing, bada boom, they're hurling into Earth. This is where the book gets racist. They're supposed to land on like the Indian Gulf or like the Indian Ocean or something like that. They go around the Earth a couple times, land in some ocean where they don't know where they're supposed to be or where they are. They look outside and the way Forrest Gump describes these people is, it was the old days. That was the fashion. Racism was the fashion. But they essentially land in like an indigenous part of the world. I'm assuming just like Africa, where, because Forrest Gump describes these people with bones in their noses, with big like lips, stitches in their lips and the earlobes and everything. And he's like, we used to give them cargo crates full of candy to help, so because maybe they'll help us out during the war. They're on this island for 4 years. 4 years Forrest Gump is on this island. Why? Is it because they haven't been saved yet? No, because the people are cannibals. Why didn't they just eat them? Because one of their indigenous people can just randomly speak English. This English person says, I can get my people to not eat you if you do our crops for us. Mainly just cotton. Because he figured out that in America there was a big cotton boom and everybody was doing cotton, and that's how America gained all its wealth. And he's like, we want that. So you pick our cotton and we don't eat you. I don't know. They eventually get saved. Susan goes off into the woods, and the girl goes to be with one of the indigenous people. Okay? She claims that was the only nice man I've ever met. Don't forget that monkey. He's coming back. Okay? Don't forget that monkey. Don't think he's not gone. Don't forget that monkey. This is where we meet Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan comes back, everybody. Lieutenant Dan was in the book earlier in the story. He was just like he was in the movie. He got his leg shot off or something like that. He just didn't have like that whole notion that he was supposed to die in the war. He was just a regular guy. But Lieutenant Dan, just like in the movie, he's living in the streets. He doesn't know, he doesn't have a home or anything like that. And at this point, neither does Forrest Gump. The government is like, you're not with us anymore. We don't have to pay you. We don't have to do anything. We don't have to shelter you. You're on your own. So he's homeless because his mama married a Protestant. They say that a lot in the book. I don't know why. She left her house and married a Protestant. So Lieutenant Dan and Forrest Gump are homeless. They eventually go to a bar where Forrest Gump finds out that he's really good at arm wrestling. And he wants to get all this money that he's doing from arm wrestling so he can make the shrimping business. He wants to get into the shrimping business just like he was in the movie. But he's making so much money that it gets the eye of this one man who wants to turn him into a wrestler. And he says yes. He says yeah. He says yeah. He says yeah. Forrest Gump becomes a wrestler. This book makes me so sad. So he becomes what's known as the dunce. The dunce is his name. He wears like a dunce hat and a diaper, and he goes on stage and he bears a big baby, and you know, he gets beaten the first time, but after that he wins, and he becomes a big fan favorite. Everybody loves him. It's also during this point that he's with Ginny again. She's been here and there and here and out, but Ginny's back and he's dating Ginny. Ginny is in the point of her life where she wants to start to settle down. This whole wrestling thing is nice, but she wants to just actually start the shrimping business. She wants to leave all this. She's done with it. She thinks it's demeaning, you know, dating Forrest, but dating the dunce. It's just all embarrassing and demeaning to her, so she doesn't want to do it anymore. Forrest, being a literal idiot, says that this is the only time where people have actually liked him, and he doesn't want to stop. He wants to keep going and keep going. Just because you don't want to stop doesn't mean that I want to stop, he goes. So Ginny leaves him. And then Lieutenant Dan says, you know, Ginny was right. I have an idea. You're supposed to lose your next fight, but I'm going to bet all our money on you or against you, however it goes, and we'll make triple the amount of money or double the amount of money, and then we'll just leave. He loses. They lose all their money. Lieutenant Dan leaves him, and then Forrest Gump is going to go try to find his mama. On his way to go find his mama, he misses his bus and ends up playing chess with one of the local men. I believe his name was... What was his name? Thank you. It's just like this old Asian man, pretty much. The Asian man finds out that Forrest Gump is a prodigy at chess, and he goes, Forrest, how come you've never competed in any regionals or anything like that? He goes, I'm sorry, I'm just an idiot, I'm Forrest Gump. He says it a lot during this book, and I think he said that here too. So, the man brings him into his home, signs him up for a couple chess competitions where they're supposed to win 10,000K, and they'll split the money, and Forrest can go into the shrimping business. This book makes me so mad. This book makes me so mad. Forrest Gump goes to Universal Studios, and he becomes a creature from the Black Lagoon. One of the people at Universal Studios just says, hey Forrest, you look like a movie star. Have you ever done anything in movies? He goes, no, I'm just an idiot, blah, 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 blah. So, he goes on set where he meets an old actress. I forget her name. Raquel Welch, I believe. So he goes on set where he meets Raquel Welch, a real live actor, who is just annoying. She's an annoying character. She's always mad and always angry at something. So he plays Creature from the Black Lagoon. His lines, or his instructions, are to come out of the water, pick her up. She's supposed to kick and scream, and then he's supposed to go into the woods. They do that a whole bunch of times, when eventually he has to pee. And he goes, so next time when I go underwater, I'll pee in the suit, which will be in the water, and I'll be okay. No one will be none the wiser. He pees, he comes out. While she's doing the line, she goes, ew, what's that smell? Did you pee? He goes, no, I didn't pee. He's like, yes, you did. And she starts kicking and screaming, and the director goes, I like it, and he starts rolling. Forrest thinks, oh, we're shooting now. So he just starts, he doesn't put her down. He starts going into the forest. Or now he's picking her up and going off into the forest. This is around the time where randomly she gets her dress snagged. So randomly she gets her dress snagged on some thorns, some leaves, and she's just completely naked going through the woods. And then out of nowhere, Susan the monkey comes out of nowhere. Susan the monkey comes out of nowhere. Turns out that right when she left Forrest the first time, she got captured, or the monkey got captured, and it was taken by some film crew so he can do some film stuff. So he's on the set. He goes over to them. Ooh, ooh, I'm monkey. And for the rest of the movie, Forrest and this monkey do not separate. Almost. Then he goes to the chess competition and wins by farting. And then Forrest Gump goes to the chess competition and wins by farting. And this Forrest Gump goes to the chess competition and wins by farting. And then Forrest Gump goes to the chess competition and wins by farting. Say it louder. Say it proud. And yeah, he wins by farting, by technicality. On accident. He just farted and won. He wins the money, leaves, and then goes to join the shrimping business. Just like in the movie, he's really bad at it at first, and then quickly starts to pick up. And then, the next thing that happens is something akin to like a Saturday morning cartoon episode, where Forrest Gump brings everybody he's ever met and makes them join his shrimping business. This is real life. Lieutenant Dan is there, the chess guy is there, his football coach is there, his parole officer is there, the almost all the cool people he wrestled with are there, and he starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger. His shrimping business is so big, so big, and everyone just thinks that Forrest is such a big-brained person. How could such a dumb person do something this smart with his money? That he becomes a U.S. Senator. Thank you, Forrest Gump. A man comes by and says, Forrest Gump, you're so smart. Why don't you become a U.S. Senator? And Forrest Gump says the same thing that we should all be thinking. Why? He's just an idiot. And instead, he just runs anyways. He doesn't make it, because all of his old allegations come up of all the bad things he's ever done, which is a lot, by the way. It's at this point where Forrest Gump is tired of doing all the stuff he's been wanting to do. He's tired of living all these crazy things, of doing all these crazy things. So he tells his chess teacher, he says, hey, look after the shrimping business. I just want to go play my harmonica in downtown Savannah. Which is, I think, is where he goes. Give all my money to mama or whatever, and then, divvy it up for the rest of the people. I don't even want any more. He goes down to downtown Savannah where he's playing his harmonica. Boop, 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 boop. Where he meets Jenny again for the last time. Jenny is living her little life with her kid, who is Forrest Gump's kid. She's just living her life with her boyfriend, or whoever it is. And Forrest Gump sees the kid, sees Jenny, sees the boyfriend, I believe, and he leaves. He just leaves her. He goes, I'm too stupid to be taking care of a kid. And he says, like, give 10% to Lieutenant Dan, give 10% to Mama, and then give the rest to Jenny and my kid. And then he goes to be a one-man band in downtown Savannah. And then he gets older and older, and then he dies. Oh, this book is so bad. This book is so bad. I can't express to you how bad this book is and how amazing the movie is. The movie was about a man who was just in the right place at the right time, who just always got lucky. And that's what made it great. He just went out through his life and just happened to just get lucky with his money, his chances, and anything else that rolled his way. While the book was just about an idiot, I guess? Like a true idiot. Forrest Gump in this book was not a likable person. He eventually got addicted to drinking and weed. He curses constantly. I never liked that. He didn't really care for anybody or anything, and just ended up just being a horrible person. and I didn't like the book, and I love the movie. Don't read the book, you'll very much regret it. I don't know why they kept a monkey in the book for like 50% of the book. It was a really bad idea, and I constantly was asking myself, why is this monkey still in the book? Constantly. If there's one thing that you can get from this video, is that the book is not always like the movie. Not always like the movie. If you like this video, that's good. I'm glad you like it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm the 17th edition, and have a nice day.